Very good evening, everybody, whether you're watching at home on the stream.
If you're doing BUCS, you should be at AmeriCamp next summer.
This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Ponds Forge International Sports Centre. This is the BUCS Short Course Swimming Championships 2023 and we are approaching session 3B. This will be all of our earlier heats in each event, from the 50 freestyle through the 200 breaststroke, 50 back, 100 fly, 50 breast, 200 back and 4x50 free relay. We've already seen in session 3A the 4 fastest heats in each event. So these are the remaining or earlier heats. We'll be starting from number 1 each time. 3:45 this afternoon, session number 4 of the weekend is going to be our final session. That's where medals are won. So for the time being, there is going to be a lot of heats here, guys, okay? And I say a lot. For example, the 50-metre freestyle heats, there are going to be, we've already seen up to heat number 32, so 27 heats, 28 heats we're going to see in the 50 freestyle, and plenty more in the aforementioned events as well. Thank you so much for joining us on this stream. We have got the open pool, which is the North Pool. We have another stream for the South Pool, which is the female element of the competition. Tonight in the finals, or later this afternoon in the finals, it will be the North Pool only. So there's 2 streams right now. Only got to concentrate on 1 later on from 3:45 onwards. Brilliant session this morning. A good number 8, nowhere near the number we're going to see this afternoon. But plenty of wonderful action. Last night's finals, hopefully you would have joined us. They were enthralling. 4 BUCS records, 1 British record. It was absolutely superb, and we will hopefully see more of the same later on today. Our officials are already poolside. We've got our lifeguards. I can see already athletes in our first event, first heat. It will be the event 301, which is the 50-metre freestyle, and we are going to have 26 heats in total in this one. Then we'll have we move on to the 200 breaststroke. In fact, I only see 1 heat in that one, but these 26 heats, I mean, they're going to be less than 30 seconds each. We get right down to sort of around about the 23-second mark by heat 26. So if you are waiting for somebody that you know is in one of the first 26 heats, trust me, don't go anywhere, because you might think, oh, don't worry, it's heat number 15, I'll go make a cup of tea and get myself a brownie. Don't, because we'll be there in absolutely no time, okay? Stick with us. My name's Ewan. I'll be talking you through every bit of action on this stream today, this afternoon and tomorrow. And we are pretty much ready to go. There you can see at the top, event 301, open 50 metre freestyle heat number 1. Coulthard, Sangster, Young, Vasilko, Strong, Santana and Stewart will be going for it. And if you ever hear in the ambient noise the announcements by races starting and guns, that is because we do have 2 pools in front of us, so we need to dovetail them to make sure no 2 races are starting at exactly the same time. And when we get to the turning end of the pool, if you've not watched already this week, you might even see glimpses of swimmers at the turning end over there as well. And away we go. So the first of 26 seats in the 50 metre freestyle, and there will be a range of times here. So Connor Stewart in lane number 7, he's on the far side, he's an S7 category para swimmer, and Andrew Sangster in lane number 2 is an S9 category. The winner of the heats in lane number 1, Ryan Coulthard for Cardiff Met, 25.3. He didn't actually have, pardon me, a entry time, but now we know what it would be. And 25.3 would have got him into roughly heat number 18. So literally, let's say heat number 2 coming up, entry times are around about 28 seconds or so. And to show you how close this is, right through to heat number 22, 21, it's only 25 seconds entry time. So it's hundredths and tenths of a second, makes such a massive difference. The finals later, in both the open and the female competition, it would be no surprise at all to see all 10 finishing within 0.2 of a second of each other. It's blanket finishes. They're very difficult to commentate on, but they're brilliant to watch, trust me.
In the North Pool, moving on to Heat 2.
Heat 2, from the bottom, say Murray, John, Harding, Hilton, Smith, Pickup, McGregor, White, Webster and Baker. Again, if you're tuning in to watch the female competition, that's on a separate stream. Just go back to the BUCS YouTube page. Probably just click the back button and you'll be able to find it. Now, feel free to send some messages in for loved ones. It's a real challenge to get them read out during the right heats, just because they fly by so quickly. But any messages, we'll always try to get those read out. Josh White, Royal Hollow, 26.61. Royal Hollow. I think that's the first time I've said Royal Hollow in a day and a half. And funnily enough, he's got a teammate in heat number 3. But Josh White, your winner of heat number 2. We'll jump into heat number 3. You got Yorick, Zainel, Kennedy, Amacha, Francis, Popham, Hazelrig, Brown, Barnes, Yu and Hunt. Every single swimmer with an entry time starting with the number 28. Alfie Francis of Royal Veterinary College got out hard to halfway. Next door, Sam Popham for Marjon. But yeah, lovely swim here from Alfie Francis. 26.59, massive PB. And a heat win. Sam Popham ahead of Edward Hunt on the far side, 27.94. He beats his entry time by almost a full second as well.
North Pole, it's heat 4.
Heat 4. McLaren, Inglis, Pooler, Wallace, Lackey, Dunlop. Excellent. Jennings, Fulford, Dyer and Kerr. I don't see many fellow Dunlops around. Cameron Lackey for Cambridge, 25.84. Just a few tenths clear of Joseph McLaughlin for Plymouth in 26.23. Couple of good swims from the outside already. Third place, Dan Fulford. Heat 5, we're going to see Callahan, Horrell, Williams, Coupland, Selwood, Kwan, Oldham, Flemons, English and Imam Mustafa. The pool side at the moment is absolutely rammed. Because just at the top that you just can't see out your picture is where all the next heats line up. Well, you can just see their legs actually, where they line up for the next event. And because we rattle through these so quickly, there's literally like 80, 90 swimmers at poolside waiting for their event, which is just like moments away for everybody. Samuel English in lane number 8, looking good, 25.78. Very nice indeed. And Uga Imam Mustafa just to his side. Just under 26.5 seconds before Seb Kwan. On to heat number 6. Webber, Day, Strzelecki, Marshall, Summers, Lennox, Quantrill, Stephen, Jevons and Lynch.
And in the North Pole, we head to heat 6.
Away they go. Just looking in the chat box here, there are a couple of messages. Let me have a look. I'll get to them in just one moment, because Kieran Lennox has gone out so fast I haven't got time. This is a quick one. 24.16, yeah. Super stuff. That's 3 seconds quicker than his entry time for Kieran Lennox. That's very, very fast. You can tell the difference between the top 3 and the rest of the field. Big split.
Next up in the North Pool, it is heat 7.
So Queck, Gordon, Creasy, Sutcliffe, Smith, Alvarad, Watson, Wilkes, Bird and Kitching. And this time, lane number 1, Cameron Gordon for Northumbria. Matthias Alvarado will chase him. 25.04. And Alvarado 25.60, and actually tied second place with Joseph Queck, both of them 25.6. couple of messages in the chat box. Come on, Dundee. Go Alfie Brown. Go Salford and Ethan Harris. Frankie Selwood. Oh, lots of support for Frankie, actually. Let's go Ian Tan from Exeter. Come on, Zach. And let's go Joe in heat number 12. And yes, Royal Holloway. Holloway, sorry. See, sometimes you don't get that very often, and in our timing sheet, sometimes they are shortened. Royal Holloway. 2 swimmers early doors in this one. Heat number 8. McMahon, Mann, Shearer, McClark, Bateman, Tomlinson, McKenny, Bonjayev, Hurst, Thompson and Faratage. Sean McKenny and Aikar Bondayev separated, but it's Ayakov for Warwick that takes the win, 25.55. And you know, with 2 pools swimming consecutively, there is great support the entire length of the building here. Heat number 9.
Next up is heat number 9.
It's going to be James, Locklew, Jones, Hayward, Tiatima, Roberts, Hopkins, Turner, Young and Ashworth from bottom to top. Down the bottom, that's Joseph James for Plymouth. He's gone out far, he's holding on, but on the far side, got the likes of Jamie Young, Jake Turner, Ben Hopkins coming back. No, holds on, 26-23. Top stuff for Joseph James.
Joseph James quickest the ball in heat number 9 from Plymouth, 26.23. And next up is heat number 10.
Now hanging around straight into heat 10. Got Peel, Morgan, Lewington, Heasley, Tilling, Sang, Kirbyson, Nielsen, Carter and Prowse. Just missing Ethan Sang for Sheffield in lane number 5. We are down into the mid 26 seconds for our entry times now. So we're heating 10 and we've only progressed about 1.5 seconds on the entries. Hugh Morgan for Southampton in 1, or is it in 6? Alex Kirbyson it is. 25-24. A second quicker than his entry. And Hugh Morgan, and it was Cameron Nielsen swimming next door to Alex. 1/2 second back. Moving on to heat number 11. Some messages for Let's Go Joe in heat number 12 coming up in a moment. Let's Go Sean. Let's Go Pat Shearer and Come On the Saints. University of Southampton. Nice start from Matt Telling representing Bath. Second from bottom there on your screen. In the middle, white cap turning nicely. Alex Beveridge for Aberdeen. And it will be Beveridge and Telling move towards the line. Far side in lane number 8. Matt Rothwell coming through nicely. He takes 3rd place. But Matt Telling holds on, 25-12. 700ths are clear of the Aberdeenian Beveridge. Heat number 12.
Next up in the North Pool, it's heat 12.
Lyon Smith, Newton, Westmith, Sampong, Gaston, Shayla, Samer, Neil Jones, Fletcher and Young. 3 for Sheffield Hallam. Sampong, Fletcher and Young. All 10 of these swimmers on the entry times separated by 1/10 of a second. Who's done the training? Who's had their massage this morning? Had the most nutritious breakfast? Let's see. In lane number 5, Lewis Shayler for Imperial, 25.45. And Theodore and Sampong, one of our Sheffield athletes, and Joel Newton, all separated by less than 1/4 of a second. Heat 13. And we're going to see from lane 0, Kapetos, Townend, Muthmakurmaran, Kushel, Shield, Cole, Robson, Way, Barker and Mayano Stephen. In the green cap of Leeds, Jay Cushion, the 20-year-old. In 3, being going to get taken to the wall by Johnny Coyle. In fact, it's Archie Barker who finishes second ahead of Johnny Coyle. But Jay Cushion, 24.98. That's the first time under 25 seconds, I believe. Heat number 14, Hodgson, Bednarski, Oakes, Williams, Bennett, McKean, Mulligan, Bircher, Batley and Barella. Nice start down the bottom there, that's Jake Bednarski and Ollie Hodgson. Up in lane number 7, 3rd from the top, that's Jacob Bircher for Southampton. And let's see the final wall, yeah, lane number 1, Jake Bednarski, 24.9, we go a bit quicker again. Bednarski representing St Andrews. It's a bit of a trek. Confirmation of those times in the venue here. And the times always have to be confirmed. Heat number 15 already. We're only like 15 minutes into the session. Turn over the paperwork. Next page. In this one, Burrell, Tinwell, Weir, Scammell, Ward, Bennett, Juan, Van Domsel, Monk and Cook. And for Logan Ward, we'll take a, in fact, a small disadvantage. Look under the water there. That was Kenneth Juan for Durham. He'll come in second place, but he gave it a great shot, 24.88. We get another 200ths off our fastest time. Logan Ward and Ken Juan looked great underwater on the return. And Martin Van Domselaar, 3rd place in the heat. On to heat number 16.
Next up, it is heat 16.
in this heat. From lane 0 at the bottom, Venter, Drew, Carnegie, Armstrong, Jackson, Chen, Ord, Agnew, Gorman and Winter. So down the bottom again, that is Andrew Venter for Strathclyde. Good start, great turn at the top there, lane number 7. And that's Callum Agnew for Aberdeen. Coming back in the middle, Lucas Jackson in 4. Well, can't call this one. Does go Callum Agnew. 25.34. Representing Aberdeen University. And Max Chen for UCL came through in the last 10 or 15 metres to take second place. Heat number 17, Divitt, Petty, Harris, Sanders, Peel, Lamel, Prowse, Toe, Richenberg and Morrison. A lot of support in lane 3 for Ryan the Salmon Saunders. In 5, Will Demel representing Plymouth Leander, he leads. In 1, James Petty for Sheffield, looking nice. Work to do for the Salmon, he's not going to get it this time because in 5, Plymouth Uni, Will Demel, 24.94. Very nice indeed. James Petty for Sheffield in 2nd, and in 3rd place, Box in Tow, 25.46. All these guys going quicker than their entry times.
Next up in the North Pool is heat 18.
18, Lebuindo, Marfunin, Chenels, Carr, Baldwin, Adekoya, Urbanchek, Wirral, Locke and Wallace. And look at lane number 2. That is James Chenels of Nottingham, the 22-year-old. And he has decided that he would like to win this one in 23.7. We've chopped a second off the fastest time so far through 18 heats. He's not messing around. Alexander Mafuni in 2nd place.
Next up in the North Pool is heat 19.
Heat 19. From lane 0 at the bottom, Jackson, Bainbridge, Burnett, Bott, Watkins Hagen, Waite, Kenny, Wardlow, Worth and Lunnis. And again, lane number 1. Looking good. Alex Bainbridge for Nottingham. 2 in a row for the 18-year-old, 24.26. And you feel like we've turned a corner now in terms of times. They're really jumping down solidly into the 24s. Heat number 20. Mullet, Hale, El Nashati, Semple, Kasati, Rees, Ashkin, Hogg, Cox and Bow. Although we've had plenty of times sub 25. This is the first time we've had entries that are under 25 seconds. And lovely start, far side, lane number 9. Yaikan Bo for Leeds, the 19-year-old. On the opposite side in 1 again, Felix Hale this time for Strathclyde. Going through in 3, that's Guy Semple for Cambridge. But Yaikan Bo, 24.04. Bo came in with a time of 25 seconds on his entry. He's wiped a second off it straight out of the pool. Get me my towel. Heat 21. Mackey, Bale, Baum, McKean, Mead, McCarthy, Peaty, Pike, Williams and McNally. Every swimmer capable of sub 25. Can anyone go sub 24? We've seen one of those so far. And this is a very different race because there's no clear leader. Anything from 4 to 9 could take this one. Is lane number 8. Jeremy Williams just stretching out in front. No, he doesn't. Titus Pike for Sterling does though, 24.5. Hang on a second. 300ths of a second separating your top 3. 25.5. Sorry, 24.5, 24.51, 24.53. Wowzers. 22, heat number, Allen, Beatty, Heasley, Rolleston, Hoole, Cornish, Dakin, Lee, Green and Lauder. And do keep your messages coming in on the YouTube chat. There's of course 2 streams right now. There's the North Pool and the South Pool. We've got the open racing in the north and the female racing in the south. So if you're watching this thinking, when's my daughter, when's my sister, you need to be on the other stream. Heat number 22. Or if you've got 2 screens, watch both at the same time. James Rolleston for Sheffield Hallam, 20-year-old in lane number 3. He's not going to get caught in heat number 22. 23.75. Look at the times now. Lewis Heasley, 24.29. And Dakin, hundredths back. And we're fast approaching our 26th and final heat. This time, heat 23. Timmins, Horton, Coles, Cortales, Richardson, Portier, Martin, Gautier, Drew and Marhofer. Not a lot to separate at the turn. Minor advantage for James Portier of St Andrews. Naoki Martin, his teammate, will try and say something about it. They're your top 2. Teammates Portier and Martin, both well under 24 seconds. And Ollie Richardson does likewise, 23.96. I've just seen a message of good luck for Tom Lee, who was in heat number 22. I do apologise that the heats go so fast. If I don't look at the chat for about a minute, we're 2 races down. Heat 24. Miller, Rates, Walford, Akers, Rowe, Underwood, Jones, Kelly, Rodriguez and Barton. Once again, you could get a ruler down there, draw a line, and you probably couldn't gather much of a difference between all 10. But after the turn, an ever so slight gap between to break. Harvey Jones of Newcastle looking like the man that will come home. 24 1/100th of a second. Magnus Kelly and James Rates opposite sides of the pool, separated by 400ths. Will join Jones in the top three. And we've just got 2 more 50-metre heats to come now. Coming up, heat number 25. And we'll see Mitchell, Geary, Dawson, Haynes, Bonsell, Thetney, Turnbull, McInnes, Wolfen and Weeks. Now, this might be a ruse, but lane 25, heat 25, lane 0, Louis Mitchell has messaged himself to say, I'm swimming in heat 25, lane 0, wish me luck. Well, that's quite bizarre, but there we go, good luck. And he gets third place. Sheffield Hallam 23.68, great time for Louis Mitchell. Jacques Bonsell 23.52, that's a cracker. And in second, Liam Dawson, just almost a 10th back. The difference is now is literally like the distance between your palm and your tip of your finger. It's hundredths of a second. And finally, heat number 26, Jack Endersby, Zach Walmsley, Tom Woolley, Tom Cadenhead, Finlay Strachan, Chris Lambert, Niall Smith, Igor Genki Zumanovic, Caleb Fox-Jones and Jack Stretton. These will be our last 10 for the time being. Every single swimmer has gone sub 24 seconds. We've not seen anybody go sub 23 yet, other than in our 4 fastest heats earlier today. And somebody pulled something out the bag here. Good turn for Caleb Fox-Jones, representing Bath Uni in 8, in the middle in 4. Chasing hard, Finlay Strachan won't catch him though. 22.95, yes we can. Congrats Caleb Fox-Jones, great time for the man from Bath. And we finish the 50-metre freestyle on a high. That's nearly a second off his entry time. That's great stuff. So that's our first event of the session completed. And the next event won't take long at all, because if I am correct, and I briefly looked at this earlier, we've just got 1 heat. Yeah, I think it's right. So 200 metre breaststroke, 1 heat. It's got Oliver Poulsen, Yuso Watanabe, Josh Berwick, Will Sutcliffe, Oscar Piercy and Tom Beach. 6 athletes, 6 universities represented. So 1 heat of the 200 metre breaststroke. Then we will go into the 50 back. We'll see plenty of those surely. Yeah, 10 of those. I won't get too far ahead of myself just yet. So, for those that are joining us for the first time this week, we've already seen heats 2, 3, 4 and 5 of this event. We've already had the 4 fastest heats of every event first thing this morning, and now we're having the remaining heats. Hence it seems odd that there's only 1 heat now for this event, but there was actually 5. We've already seen the first 4. So we just saw 27 heats, 26 heats in the freestyle. There were actually 30. We saw the 4 quickest ones earlier on today. And as we go through this session 3B, that is when we get our completely finalised results. Who's going to be in the B finals and the A finals later. So 20 spots up for grabs in every event. B final will race for 11th to 20th. Official standings and the top 10 fastest from the heats will battle for the medals. Lane number 7, Tom Beach for Lancaster. His entry 2:34.9. See, Tom Beach, this is what's often happens in the earlier heats. Tom Beach is official, well, on paper, the slowest entry time. Only 4 seconds separating them in total between the 6. But he'll come home, and only man chasing him, George Berwick, fastest on paper. He's going to run out of time, but he will close that gap. But it's going to be 1 length too late. So 2:31.17 for Tom Beach. 3 seconds quicker than his entry. And that concludes that event. That was over in a flash, wasn't it? So now we go straight back to 50-metre racing, and it'll be the 50 back 10 heats. And we've still got butterfly, breaststroke, freestyle relays to come. Finals from 3:45 tonight. And there will be 32 races in the final session, half of them B finals, half of them A or medal finals.
Next up is event 305. This is the open 50-metre backstroke, heat 1.
Let's do it then. 50-metre backstroke. Zach Oakes, Matt Sale, and no Mackenzie Jackson. This is like a swim-off. Only 0.1 of a second separating these two on the entries. It's in favour of Matt Sale. In lane number 4. And it might only be around about 1/10 of a second on the finishing times, a little bit more maybe. 31.7 against 31.59 for Zach Oakes. Now, of course, these heats will take a little bit longer than the freestyle, because in the 50-metre freestyle, the swimmers can sort of stay in the pool and the next race dives over the top of them. But in the backstroke, of course, they need to start literally in the lane. So I need to wait for it to be cleared. Heat 2. Kerr, Morris, Sampong, Pike, Strategopoulos, Kitching, Redshaw and Bird. One racer missing, Charlie Morris in lane 2. Titus Pike for Stirling and Toby Redshaw for Imperial College. It'll be between them, and it will go to the latter by 8/100ths of a second. Toby Redshaw takes heat 2 for Imperial. Titus Pike, then Theodore Sampong. So again, please do leave your messages in. There's so many athletes here now. I know a lot of people are going to be watching, waiting for one person in particular. If you do leave a message, let me know what heat they're in, what race they're in, event, and also the name, of course. I can see a message here for Let's Go Matty for Charlotte Alice Darnton, but I can see a couple of mats coming up, so I don't want to just assume and get the wrong one, because they'll be wondering who on earth is Charlotte supporting me here. So let's as much info as possible. I tell you what, lane 4 there, Kevin Chen went deep into the pool. He was nearly touching the floor. In 5, Hung Tech NG, quickest to the turn, but oh my word, look at 0. Liam Marshall for Durham. Then in lane number 8, that's Liam Murphy for Glasgow. Crikey, battle of the Liams, and it's Marshall that gets it over Murphy, 28.54, 500ths quicker than his namesake. And Sam Cook also gubs sub 30 seconds, as does Lucas Grieve actually. Heat number 4. Got a race in the South Pool starting at pretty much exactly the same time, so we'll just hang on 2 seconds. In the South Pool, it's the female competition, if you want to watch that. Later on today, 3:45, all the finals will be in one pool, so everybody's going to be in one place watching. So don't worry about trying to get on the right pool or stream. It will be called Session 4. That is all you need to know. We've got Kent, Wiskin, Newton, Martin, Hanford, LeMay, Baldwin, Clark, Savas and Lewington. And Pierre LeMay gets away well, as does Joel Newton for Warwick in 2. In 9, Sarek Lewington for Reading. They'll be your first 3, but Joel Newton from Warwick University, 28.53. Pierre LeMay was a couple of tenths back. Well, just missed 3rd place on the official timing board there. Heat number 5. Again, they just clear the pool. We'll see some instructions being given to athletes down the bottom there. See, that's the size of the gap you want at the end of the race.
Next in the North Pool, it is heat number 5.
Follow these instructions. Heat 5. Overton, Hodgson, Fallon, Ford, Shelton, Wise, Worth, McKean, Divey and Mayano. I may have just lost one camera there. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it. In 4, Bell Shelton for Leeds Beckett in the pink cap. Turn for home first. And this is, without a doubt, the biggest lead we've seen in any race so far. Ben Shelton, 29 seconds on. He's going to destroy that. He's got a 27.47. There we are, back just in time. Excellent. Second place, Dan Fallon, 28.6. And then Dan Ford, Ollie Hodgson. Everything happening on the near side. We're going to move on to heat number 6 with Peyton, Frame, Matheson, Adekoya, Overland, Betts, Bacardi, Funnel, Gunalagulu and Heasley. And there is support for Luke Funnel of Reading University. Thank you, Min Chan Chen. I want a kiss there. Is that kiss for me or is that for Luke? I'm claiming it. Just waiting for a race in the South Pool to kick off, and then we can welcome the chaps to the starting blocks. And that race in the South Pool completed. They're swimming exactly the same program as us, so they're just 50 meter races. So we do one at a time, take it in turns. They've been sort of syncing them beautifully. It's almost seamless, to be perfectly honest. You may not even notice if you weren't watching too closely. There's actually a slight delay in our pool. That's why. Let's try and see what's happening here. There's a chat between the officials on the far top right hand side. They're just out of your picture. And also, the old classic timing pad change. I thought it was too good to be true. To go, what are we in, session 3B? And no timing pad change. I think we've done well. So lane number one, lane 0 starting in. You can see it bottom left hand side there. And these should only take literally a couple of minutes to get them out, get the new one back in. Just quickly jump over. Oh, we did very briefly. Yes, we can. Little view on the South Pool. That's the women's competition. That's very clever of our TV crew downstairs. Let's switch over to live broadcast of the South Pool. So this is the female backstroke heat number 5. So we might just get one heat in here, because in the North Pool they've already got the timing pad in. And it's getting screwed into place. So are we going to see one of our female race? You can watch all of this. Oh, there's 2 streams. There's a South Pool and a North Pool stream. You're not missing anything. Get 2 screens up if you can. Let's have a look though. Heat number 5 of the women's 50 back. So they're just 1 heat behind. They were 2 heats behind. They're going to be 1 heat behind now, because we are still waiting for heat number 6. Draw things level. But we can only see one end. Back they come in lane number 3. That's Evie Richards for Newcastle, leading the way home. In lane number 6, that's Bethany Smith for Warwick. And 32.60 for Evie Richards and Bethany Smith for Warwick. And Eliza Raycroft. And now we can go back to the North Pool. Peyton Frame, Matheson, Adekoya, Overland, Betts, Bacardi, Funnel, Gonaloglu and Heasley. So they've had a few minutes wait, these guys. They kept themselves warm. And smack their legs and chests. Leave big red marks. Right then, heat number 6. Let's do it. Away we go. And we are into the entry times of sub 29 seconds. In lane 2, Rory Matheson for Glasgow gets away well, but 5 men turn together. That's including Adekoya, Overland, Betts and Bacardi. Far side though, Matt Heasley in lane number 9, not looking too bad, but pulling away just in the death there. Tom Betts for Bournemouth, 28.17. You do like that. Ben Overland. In fact, it was a good win in the end, 0.6 of a second. It was nothing at halfway. And Gus Vacadi in your top 3. On to heat number 7. We're going to have Wright, Heasley, Pistai, Stanbury, Carnegie, Watkins, Hagen, Giles, Skelton, Carlton and Wilkinson.
Next up is heat 7.
Lewis Heasley for St Andrews.
Going well in heat number 7.
And lane number 1 has started the best, turning well in Southern. Nick Skelton for Bristol. In 3, Tom Stanbury for Leeds, not doing too badly either. And it does go to Nick Skelton, 27.63. That's a great swim. And in fact, Joseph Giles nipped in there for second as well, 27.87. Can all change in the last 15 metres. Heat number 8 of 10 in a moment. Got one of our Southpool races just starting.
Next up is heat number 8.
And we have in heat number 8 Mackay, Verdonk, Webb, Thompson, Lau, Dive, Dyson Diaz, Thompson, Spry and Knight. Lucas Dyson Diaz gets away well for Durham University.
It's a good start for Lucas Dyson Diaz in
Daniel Lau for Manchester. And in 2, Ryan Webb for Nottingham. A real breakaway here. 26.54 for Lucas Dyson Diaz.
the Durham swimmer in lane 6.
Much quicker than his entry time of 28 seconds. Confirmed on the scoreboard, Dyson Diaz, Webb and Lau. And our penultimate heat for this event, number 9. Will be Beatty, Brown, Rodriguez, Oglesby, Walmsley, Chatterjee, Burkett, Eden, Drew and Catton.
Next up in the North Pool is heat 9.
Look at that for a start from Tobias Ogleby and Sheffield Hallam. Oh, crikeys. Absolutely gunning for it. The cadence of this stroke, hang on a second. Has he been drinking something? Absolutely rocketed through. 25.44 for Tobias Ogleby. That is the quickest I've seen arm moves this weekend so far. Blimey. Jack Eden and Michael Brown, second and third. That's remarkable. Yeah, you had a can of some sort of energy drink or two. And finally, Heat 10, Adams, Charon, Philip Panical, Seymour, Morley, Joe, Juan, Blackwell, Bradley and Broadley. Coming up shortly will be the 100 butterfly. Another 10 heats of those to come. And 3, Laurie Seymour for Exeter, 19 years of age. Coming back in 5, Ryan Joe for Warwick. And in 4, Joe Meley for Liverpool, John Moore. They're your top 3. Seymour takes it, 26.65. Ryan Joe for Warwick second. And then Joel Morley, 26.99. 0.05 of a second back. And that is the 50-metre backstroke completed. Tick on to the next one. 100-metre butterfly. And turn the page on our start sheets.
Next up is event 309. This is the open 100-metre butterfly, heat 1.
100-metre butterfly, heat 1. We're going to see Jude Richardson, Archie NG, Alex Westmith, Josh Cant, John Roberts and Andrew Sangster. Oh, swimmers being told to stand down, and no race. Well, race about to start in the South Pool as well, but I thought the North Pool had the advantage there. Yeah, then they go off again. In fact, we've got a swimmer in lane 0. Who's that? Yeah, he's in. So I think that was Zach Townend going 8 early and told to stand down. I mean, eager beaver. I like it. Keen to get away. In lane 5, Josh Cant for Salford. First through 25. In lane 7, Andrew Sangster. He's an S9 category para swimmer, representing Warwick. We'll bring you up to speed on his entry time in just a moment, because it's still Josh Cant and Alex Westmith and Archie NG. And there is a message for Go Jude from Sarah Richardson. And that's Jude Richardson for the home city of Sheffield in lane number 2. And it is a tight finish. Look at this. Josh Cant takes it ahead of Westmith, NG and Richardson. But look at the gap here between your winner and Jude Richardson. Just 0.8 of a second. And unfortunately, in lane 7, Andrew Sangster has stopped at 75 metres. He'll make his way out of the pool. Looks okay. Doesn't look sort of like injured or ill. But disappointed. So we move on to heat number 2 shortly. So now Zach Townend, it is your turn now. Ferry tangling it down the bottom. Be joined by Jack Munden, Joe James, Matt Sullivan, Harry List, Ollie Carter, Flynn Ryan, Lucas Lawman, Joseph Deval and Frankie Back. And some support for Lucas Lawman coming in from Emma Rush on the YouTube chat. And away we go, heat 2. Ollie Carter in lane 5 and S10. Category para swim. And we will have, let me just double check. Yeah, 10 heats in total. All of them will be around 60 seconds or so. Also got a message for Go Flynn from Sam. Flynn's in lane 6, currently in 4th position. And in lane number 7, Lucas Lawman leads the way for Warwick University. Lane number 3, Matt Sullivan for Surrey. We'll keep him on his toes into the wall, but he will not be caught. It was Lucas Lawman, 59.11 for Lawman. His entry time, Lucas, was 1:03.8. So, like 4 seconds quicker. Impressive. Heat number 3 from lane 0. We are going to have Alex Mills, Phelan McNally, Chris Carnegie, Stephen Locke, Tom Adamson, Flynn Mulligan, Ryan Sanders, Ben Coupland, Henry Russell Ross and James Goodwin. Early starter in 1, Phelan McNally for Glasgow, 22-year-old. On the far side, lanes 8 and 9. That is James Goodwin and Henry Russell Ross for Cardiff and Nottingham. And James Goodwin just falling off the pace of Russell Ross and Phelan McNally. Keep your eye on 4, Stephen Locke coming through in lane 2 as well, Chris Carnegie. But in 8, Henry Russell Ross gets there. Lovely swim, 1 minute and 33 hundredths. Then Phelan McNally, 1:01.22. And Stephen Locke secured 3rd place. Three down, 7 to go. We've still got the 50 breaststroke, 200 back and 4x50 free relay to come. This is a chunky old session, this one. So Gregor Batley, Campbell Wolford, Ben Shelton, Shaheen Al-Ghafari, Joe Watkis, Emilio Panuga, Rory Munn, Fergus Curry. No lane 8, but we do have James Howard in 9. And it is lane 3, Shaheen Al-Ghafari, who will lead out to his left and right. Leeds Beckett, Ben Shelton, and Durham's Joe Watkis. Al-Ghafari is going to be well under 60 seconds, 58.09, and Ben Shelton, what's that, 13 hundredths back before Joe Watkis. Those times confirmed in venue. Heat number 5. Titima, Turrell, Shaw, LeGrice, Cheng, Ryan, Martin, Garner, Hale and Stevenson. What a way to go by James LeGrice of Warwick in 3. Not hanging around in the blue shorts. The rest of the field led by Jack Turrell for Warwick in 1. Warwick actually got 3 competitors in this one, and they're currently first and second. Kiel's Marcus Cheng in 3rd place. Let's just have a check here. So in 3, James LeGrice, and in 1, Jack Turrell for Warwick. Well, what a final 25 for Jack Turrell. 58.43. And James LeGrice, your early leader, looked absolutely bang on for the win early doors, and then pulled right back in. Maybe just went out far too hard and fell away, because he finishes 5th, but his teammate timed that to perfection. And a 58.43 for Jack Turrell. Well, by my paperwork in front of me, he'd never been under a minute before. Heat 6. Jan Poulton, Ollie Bradley, Daniel Ord, Cameron Gordon, Ryan Coles, Lucas Tompkins, Jake Bednasky, Sam Law-Chin, Alex Keegan and Matt Batchelor. So you've got Ollie Bradley in 1 and Ryan Coles in 4. Batchelor in 9. Look at that, top 7 under a second. Now, just keep your eye here. Ollie Bradley in 1 for Northumbria. But what we saw in the previous heat was quite remarkable, really. And coming back in 0, Jan Poulton for Queen Mary. But your leader will take it this time, 58.65. Held on. Knew exactly what he was doing, Ollie Bradley, 58.65. And 4 men under 60 seconds in heat number 6.
Next up is heat 7.
Heat number 7. Ashkin, March, Wileys, Chapman, Brubaker, Horton, Rollinson, Williamson, Dobney and Watkins.
We have a representative from Swansea and back to make their way to the BUCS help desk. That is a representative from Swansea and back to the BUCS help desk.
Now you might have heard that, a representative from Swansea and Bath being called, and that is like an alarm bell in a commentator's mind for potential swim off, but let's wait and see. No confirmation of that at all. Right, lane 3, Timon Chapman for East Anglia with the suction cup marks all down his back. Against lane 5's Ben Horton. Coming through nicely in 8 was James Dobney. Dobney actually takes second, 59.21. Timon Chapman 59 on the nose. And 59.24 for Ben Horton. Chapman takes heat 7 and he's very happy. Is that 2 thumbs up? He's a big, big smile on his face.
Heat 8.
And so he should be happy. I like to say that. You quite often with athletes, they'll do something incredible, and I completely get it. In the zone, straight-faced, this means nothing to me. But it's a pleasure to see an athlete do well and just be super excited about it. Big, big smile, thumbs up. Yeah, I did something great just then. I'm going to enjoy it. So heat 8. You've got Georgios Manopoulos, Luke Barton, James Lauder, Joe Rees, Elwyn Davies, Harry Waite, Ewan Houston, Chris Littleton, Josh Kelly and McKinley Houghton. And Elwyn Davies in lane 4 for Birmingham. Harry Watt for St Andrews has got 3/4 of a body length difference to make up, which he won't be able to do. He's trying to hold off Ewan Houston at the same time. 56.93 though for Elwyn Davies. And look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4 side by side. Harry Waite, Ewan Houston and Chris Littleton. And 7 times under 60 seconds. And 2 more heats of this to come.
Next up in the North Pool, it is Heat 9.
Heat 9. Jack Pallant, James Smith, James Bartley, Logan Ward, Francis Dyson, Sam Arrowsmith, Ben Reed, Ian Cressy Rogers, Joshua O'Brien and Joshua Press. And it's the last man named, Joshua Press, who's pressing on 25.33 through 50. Entry time for Press, representing Stirling, 58.9, but anywhere near a similar second split, and he's going to be in the mid to low 50s. He's taken Heat 9 to task. There'll be absolutely no catching him. 54.79 for Joshua Press. You jump to the opposite side of the ball for Jack Pallant in a 57.66, but let's just read that one more time. Josh Press, 54.79. 4 seconds quicker than his entry, over 100 metres. Heat number 10 for the last time, for the time being, in the 100 fly. Jones, Creaney, Strickland, Gillespie, Kelly, Scullion, Toe, Dove, Rezai, Kalantare and Young. Adele Kelly for Sheffield Hallam. Gone away well. Half a second to Dove, Scullion, Gillespie and Strickland over 1 second. And Louis Dove, the green cap, third from the top on your screen. In lane 5, Marcus Scullion for Stirling. Might have just sneaked into second position here. There's going to be no way anybody is catching Adela Kelly. How fast can he go? Won't be as quick as heat number 9, but 56.47. Louis Dove held on for second over the charging Scullion, and all 10 swimmers under 60 seconds. And that concludes, until our finals later on, the 100 butterfly. And now we move on to the 50-meter breaststroke. And for this one, we will have 13 heats of the 50 breast. Now, we have Aaron Wilkes, Alfie Brown and Oliver Ryan. And on my official paperwork, it's just those three, but we are clearly joined by Edge Hill's Toby Ranson as well, who I must say is getting plenty of vocal support from my right. So no start time, no entry time, sorry, for Toby Ranson. No idea what's going to happen here. But when this happens is often due to some lenience on behalf of the organisers in terms of entries. So would not like to guess a potential time for him. And I think the officials are also questioning the start here. Maybe they don't have Toby Ranson here either, because I think the officials will have the same paperwork as I do. So Toby Ranson having a chat, maybe just giving his name and his university, so the officials are aware. He's not going to be stopped swimming. I think they need to know, of course, who he is. But interestingly, he's of course on our screen here. So somebody was told. So I wouldn't be surprised if Toby Ranson possibly potentially win this by a couple of seconds. It's an unknown. But of course, if you have an extra swimmer at the end, for any reason, the only place to put them is in the opening heat. If you have some spare lanes available, you can't make an 11th lane for anybody. You can't have two in one lane, so they can only go in heat number one. So let's take a look. Wilkes, Brown, Ryan and Ranson. And yeah, as predicted, Toby shoots off in front. And behind him, leading the original field, is Aaron Wilkes for Manchester Metropolitan. But out in front, Toby Ranson will have a time of 30.23. So he would have been in a roundabout heat 12 if he had been placed in the correct seeding. Behind him, Aaron Wilkes, best of the rest, 35.57 for him, which is a lot quicker than his entry time. So well done, Aaron. Heat number 2. Matt Creasy, Ioannis Peros, Timon Strzelecki, Angus Caldecott, Jamie Quantrill, Joseph McLaughlin, William Taylor, Callum Way and Rafael Santana. Joseph McLaughlin, sorry, for Plymouth. Jamie Quantrill for Strathclyde to his left. It will be tight. but win for McLaughlin, 32.67. 2400s clear of Quantrill, and third place was Ioannis Peros. Second from bottom there, 35.17. Those times confirmed. Quick reminder, if you are here today, later on this afternoon, tomorrow, do have a chat with our partners of this event and championship, New Balance, Americamp and Advicta. They are all here on the balcony as you enter poolside. Opportunities to travel, opportunities to buy some lovely new kit, an opportunity for some career advice as an athlete. So many people in the venue today, it's great. In heat number 3, Seisu, Neil Jones, Francis Balshaw, Mackie, Day, Rothwell, Fanuskis, Yorick and Zeng. And is in Southern, Zigamantas Venu for Leicester University, 31.38. Vanauskas ahead of John Mackie, 33.12. Then Matt Rothwell. And Joe Neil Jones. Don't forget, we've got 2 pools running in the South Pool. It's the female competition. They are running exactly the same programme. They're currently on heat 2 of their 50-metre breaststroke as we just move into heat number 4. Heat 4, Newman, Fletcher, Billingsley, Vassy, Petty, Marhofer, Davis, Nielsen, Green and Fletcher. Joseph Fletcher looking very good indeed for Salford. 30.85. Three and a half seconds faster than his time coming into this championship. He was ahead of Soma Marhofer and Tom Vassy. Heat 5, Tomlinson, Scrutton, Ashworth, Webber, Stridham, Gaston, Jevons, Worth, James and Shaw. Every single swimmer with an entry time that starts with 33. But we've already seen a couple of 30s and 31s, and Andrew Stridham of Cardiff University will lead Alex Worth in Southern of Brooks, and it's a 32.21. 3 swimmers well ahead of the rest, Alex Worth and Adam Scrutton. That is 5 down. And just in case every single representative of Swansea is watching the stream right now on the North Pool, and you're not listening to the announcer here, a representative of Swansea has got to go to the timing room ASAP. I need you there, rep from Swansea.
Next up in the North Pool is heat 6.
Heat at number 6, Tech NG, Harris, Carr, Joe, Philip, Panackle, Turner, Strickland, Inglis, Locklew and Wharton. And Ryan Joe for Warwick, the 19-year-old, has made the decision to go hard. In 6, Atticus Strickland for Durham. He'll be ahead of the field, but behind Joe. 29.5 for Ryan Joe. First man sub 30 in the heats. And I'm not sure he can quite believe it himself. He's sort of laid back looking at that one, thinking, is that mine? Yes, it is. Heat 7, Kitto, Garner, Marchbank, Summer, Marfan, McInnes, Oakes, Graham, Prowse and Hicks. But well, our South Pool race is going to head off first, so we'll be a few seconds.
Next up in the North Pool, it is heat number 7.
So we're away. In 4, Alexander Mafunin representing Stirling University. Another strong win from lane 4, 31.11. Morgan Kitto, half a second back on Moore. And third place, Murray Prowse, 32.09. So just glancing back to the chat here on the YouTube stream for the North Pool. Apologies if I've missed any. Come on, Joseph Sin. I think Joseph goes in a couple of heats' time. Go Alfie Brown. And go Finn Ashworth from lane 5. That was heat 5, lane 2. And apologies, another one for Finn Ashworth. Just trying to catch up on all your messages here. But in the pool, Nathan Ung for Cambridge in the light blue cap. It's been, you know what, it's been a few heats since we had a really competitive finish. There's always been one standout performer in the last 4 or 5 heats. This time it's Nathan Ung, 30.39, clear of Matthias Alvarado in 31.02. And then Hazem El Nashati, 31.25. You tend to, the general rule of thumb is the further you get down the heat numbers, the tighter the races get, because the entry times are so similar. But, at least one person is defying that right now in each and every heat. In heat number 9, you're watching Beard, Spinks, Creaney, Shayla, Tinwell, Sandhu, Smith, Tilling, Berwick and Senior. And Lewis Shaler for Imperial College is the quickest to 25 metres. Are we going to see exactly the same again? Alex Beard for Surrey in 0. And in lane number 5, Samru Sandhu for Cambridge are going to put a bit of pressure on, but not enough. Once again, clear winner, 29.37. That's a standout time right there for Lewis Shaler. 31.20 is entry. 2 seconds off and going sub 30 in the 50 breaststroke. It's a big barrier to break down on your 50 breast journey, and he's absolutely smashed it.
Next up, it's heat number 10.
Heat 10, Oscar Piercy, Sam Mead, Asri Asman, Sam Rennie, Suhaila Talib, Joseph Sin, Matus Midliar, Ian Tan, Thomas Bale and Edward Smith. And a message for Let's Go Asri Asman. I've also got Joseph Sin in here, who is getting some love. And this time it's down the middle, and it is Joseph Sin that leads to 25 metres. To his left-hand side on the way back, Suhaila Talib for Sterling. Then in lane 2, Asri Asman. So see, you give support online and they perform in the pool, because the two that were getting some love are going to finish right near the top here. Joseph Sin takes it, 29.35, and Asri Asman gets second, 29.96. That is unquestionable proof. If you leave a message for somebody in the YouTube chat, they can feel it. Joseph Sin and Asri Asman got love, and they returned love. First and second in heat number 10. Love it. Heat 11. Arthur Gautier, James Quinn, Ben Rogers, James Rolliston, Zach Westhead, Sam Lord Chin, Tom Power, Adam Sanofi, Yuto Watanabe and Adam Ritchie. So James Quinn doesn't join us in lane number 1. Out the blocks well in 9, Adam Ritchie for Sterling. Also on the opposite side, right down the bottom, Arthur Gautier for Strathclyde. The one man making a bit of a mark through the middle in lane 3, that's James Rolliston for Sheffield Hallam. But it is Arthur Gautier, Strathclyde, 22-year-old, 29.88. And on the far side, Adam Ritchie, 29.92. Only those two men sub 30. In heat 12, from the bottom, Sam van der, Logan Ward, Lewis Chapman, William Murray, Will Morris, Ollie Lill, Jacob Hudson, George Satchwell, Hayden Woolley and Joseph Moore. Penultimate heats in the 50 breast. Every single entry time, literally 1 or 2 tenths above 30 seconds. You've had plenty of sub 30. You'd put a bit of money on there being a couple more here. This is difficult to split now. Blue Cap bobbing on the far side in 8. Hayden Woolley for Salford. Couple of lengths inside in 5. That's Ollie Lill for Sheffield Hallam. They're your first two. And they're the two men that go sub 30 as well. Hayden Woolley, 29.24, close to 29. And Ollie Lill, 1700ths under the 30-second barrier. Lewis Chapman best of the rest, 400th outside. Heat 13 of 13. William Strachan, Ben Fielder, Jack Iverson, Luke Witten, Arthur Llewellyn, William Dean, Liam Murphy, Albertus Andika Bangin, Ethan Stannard and Christian Ryan. After this, we move on to the 200-metre backstroke, our penultimate event of the session. Well, heat 13 will have no clear leader at 25 metres. Jack Iverson has a good turn. Black cap, third from bottom. And he will lead home the central lanes. Arthur Llewellyn, William Dean. And it is Jack Iverson that takes it away from Murphy and Dean in that order. 29-12. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times under 30 seconds. That's what we want to see. So the 50 breast done. Next up, 200 backstroke. And we are going to have, just 2 heats in this one. I tell you what, it's going to be the final start at 3:45, so there's going to be a good hour and a half break at least this afternoon, which you can of course enjoy. Go and get some lunch. So we've got 2 heats of the 200 back, then we'll have 4 heats of the 4x50 freestyle relay. So a really great way to end session 3B. And I think both pools are going to finish at around about the same time. The 50 breaststroke just coming to its conclusion in the south pool, but they've only got 1 200-metre backstroke heat to swim and 4 4x50s. So heat number 1, we have from lane 0 Carl Savas, Tobias Oglesby, Tom Betts, Alexander Bell, Adam Taylor, Daniel Fernandez, Finn Williams, Ben Wilkinson and Daniel Lau.
The opening 50 metres.
In the south pool, we move on to event 314, the female 200 metres backstroke. We have 1 remaining heat.
Approaching the halfway mark, Tobias Ogleby of Sheffield Hallam. Second from bottom, and over in lane number 6, Finley Williams. Then a second back from our leader, Taylor Fernandez Lau. And our commentary position is right above the North Pool, so we get on the back row, we get a really good view looking down. And you do spot sometimes just an athlete that looks really sort of calm and composed, and that's exactly how I describe Tobias Ogleby right now. Doesn't seem to be pushing too hard whatsoever. Just a really good stroke rate, no change whatsoever. Just like a metronome down below us. Alexander Bell of Glasgow will lead the peloton behind. Into Tom Betts for Bournemouth. Just starts to make a little move and hanging on to the coattails of Bell in 3. But there we go. Tobias Oglesby, a 2:10.47. That's a really nice swim there. 2:10.47. 1.5 seconds back, Alexander Bell, and then Tom Betts, apologies, for Bournemouth. One down, one to go. And this morning, you'll be delighted to know this, I was given a document that was 10 pages long, and we are on the final page. It's got one heat in the 200 back to come, and then 4 heats in the 4x50 freestyle relay, and that closes out when we get there session 3B, and we come back at 3:45 for the finals, all 32 of them. Taking part heat 2, Adam Ryan, Ollie Frame, Jack Eden, Ewan McDonald, Ewan Blackwell, Dan Fallon, David Pugh, Joseph Giles, Benjamin Scobie and Joe Watkis. So through 25, Jack Eden, East Anglia, and Dan Fallon for St George. Only 2 seconds separating the entire field of 10 through 50 metres. That will change because there's been a significant burst away on the turn at the far end ahead of the halfway mark. It's still Jack Eden and Ewan Blackwell for Cambridge, and Ewan McDonald, Glasgow, and David Pugh of Oxford. So we've gone from a 2 second difference to 4.5 seconds over the space of 50 metres to split the entire field from first to 10th place. And it's looking at the moment like a 5-man race, all in the middle. Then we've got a pair on the near side, a trio on the far. And look at that, 0.3 of a second between Eden and Blackwell. 0.7 and 8 back to Fallon and McDonald. Oh, Jack Eden is led from the gun. Can he be overtaken? He still leads with 15 metres to swim. I'd love him to do it. For 5, Dan Fallon for St George's. He's going to put a lot of pressure on. Can he get it in the last stroke, literally? Oh my word, he does. By 800ths, Dan Fallon steals it at the death. And Jack Eden, a 2:94, still a great time. Would have loved a number 1 next to his name too. Ewan McDonald, 2:11.36, wraps up 3rd place. Well done, Dan Fallon. And now, you see that gaggle of swimmers. What do you call a collective? What's the collective name for a bunch of swimmers? A wave of swimmers? A riptide of swimmers? Do you know what? We've got 5 minutes. If you can think of a collective name for a group of swimmers, put it in the chat and I'll read them out. I'm saying wave of swimmers. Heat number 1, UC LAN 2, team 2. If you see a number 2, it means they've got 2 teams in the competition, that's all. Bangor, Brooks 2 and York St John. Quick start for Bangor. Haven't got the individual athlete names, or will have for finals later on, but we don't have for the heats, just the university names. But this is impressive for Bangor. In second place, sixth right now, York St John. Until you get sort of halfway through leg 3, then you get an inkling of there's potentially a comeback on the line. We've had our first answer. I like that, Darren. Thank you. A ripple of swimmers. Yeah, it's good. And Bangor still leading on the final leg. Or can York St John, have they left their best until last? And can they close a gap of several seconds? They lead into the final 25, looking unlikely. Oh, and not a great turn for York St John. Almost missed the boom entirely. So Bangor will take our heat number 1. 1:44.9. 1:47.51 St John, then BUCS team number 2, and University Central Lancashire 1:58.45.
Next up in the North Pool, it is Heat 2.
So as we can see, North Pool 3B, the open competition. And in the South Pool, we have the female competition. In the finals later on, it will be North Pool only. Everything happening in the North Pool, so don't worry about finding the right stream. If it says session 4, that's the one you want to see. That is where we will be. So, heat number 2, and we have from the bottom, Northumbria team 2, Nottingham Trent, York, Dundee, Glasgow, Newcastle team 2, UCL, Kiel, King's College, and Reading.
Glasgow leading the 50 metres, followed by Dundee in lane number 3. Glasgow, as it stands, are going well.
And it's Glasgow in 4, and that will lead the way at the halfway mark. In 6 and 7, UCL and Kiel. And in lane number 1, Nottingham Trent trying to fight into those top 3 positions too. But Glasgow looking formidable into the final stages. And they're extending their lead all the time, Glasgow. Still the battle for second and third between two teams side by side, UCL and Kiel. They will decide the second and third step in the results in heat number 2. But Glasgow 1:35.64. That is 10 seconds quicker than their entry. UCL 1:41.69 and Kiel 1:42.09. So Glasgow, UCL, Kiel, and then came Nottingham Trent in 4th. Fifth place was Newcastle's second team. So 2 down, 2 to go. And there is 4x50 freestyle racing in the South Pool 2. That is coming to its conclusion right now, following exactly the same programme as we are in the North. Separate stream for that one, all available. Same story all week, all day tomorrow in the morning, the first couple of sessions, there will be north and south streams. You don't have to miss anyone. We sometimes do get a message going, oh, when does the girls race start? Separate streams for you, so you can watch everything, every race, every swimmer covered. And let's go back to our North Pool. It's Heat 3, Reading, Southampton, Sheffield, Bournemouth, BUCS New, Manchester, Edge Hill, Cambridge, University, Central Lancashire and Glasgow. It's our penultimate heat of session 3B. And you will get a great lunchtime break of about 1 hour and 45 minutes. BUCS New in 4 and Glasgow in 9. On the near side, UCLAN, Reading and Southampton near side. Far side is Glasgow. Halfway mark, it is still going to be BUCS New leading, and they've put a good solid second or so on second place Glasgow. Then Manchester in lane 5, Reading and Southampton in 0 and 1. Can anybody track down, reel in the front two? Final leg, anchor leg coming up. BUCS New lead, 1:12.27, 50 metres to swim. Who's put who on the final leg? It's looking solid. Glasgow in a comfortable second place. In lane 0, Reading coming through to move into third at 25 metres to come. But nobody up top is going to catch in 4. BUCS New, 1:36.13. That is 6 seconds quicker than their entry. Second place Glasgow. Reading just falling back into 4th place in the end. Even Southampton came through to take nip third by 1/100th of a second. There's actually 1300ths of a second separating second, third and fourth there. But your winners way out in front. BUCS New. 1 heat to come. Another answer from Darren. What do you call a collective? What's the collective name for a bunch of swimmers? A pod of swimmers. That works for me as well. I prefer Ripple. I actually prefer my own one. A riptide of swimmers. One more heat to come. Bristol 2, Durham 2, Newcastle 1, Leeds Beckett 2, Leeds 2, Brooks 1, Surrey 2, Lancaster 2, Portsmouth and Nottingham 2. The majority of the number 1 teams will have been in the faster heats we've already seen. First thing, or not first thing, early this morning. And it's Nottingham in green. If we're going to start picking leaders this early on, Nottingham on the far side. In 3, Leeds Beckett. They will move towards the end of the first leg. Pretty much tied. Oh, that was a very early start for Nottingham. But they lead. Maybe it might have been absolute perfection. Tell you what, these swimmers have got to clear the pool because Nottingham are steaming through here. They just about make it out in time. I didn't expect him to get back that quickly. Nottingham lead still. Second place with Lancaster. Third is Leeds in 4. And 4th place Durham in lane number 1. But of the 4 heats, we've always had a leader. But it's not always been this close for second, third, well, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th right now. So Nottingham will lead into the final leg. They've led from the opening 25 metres. And they've got a good few metres advantage towards the end too. Leeds will make it difficult for them in lane number 4. Coming through in lane number 7, that's Lancaster. They were in second. And in 1, Durham have had a nice final turn too. But in 9, Nottingham will take it 1:37.44. Great way to finish the session. Time's just coming up there for you. In second place, I can tell you, it was Leeds 2 in lane number 4. And third place, it was Lancaster 2 from lane number 7, which you just can't see on that scoreboard there. Well, what a lovely way to close out session 3B here at Ponds Forge and the BUCS Short Course Swim Championships 2023 with our partners New Balance, Americamp and Advicta. 3:45 is the final session. There will be 34 races. There will be B finals and A finals, medals galore, and if we go on last night's performances, plenty of new BUCS records too. So go and enjoy your afternoon, your lunch, but be back online, the YouTube stream. There's only going to be one, session 4. It's the finals here on Saturday at Ponds Forge. We'll see you shortly.
If you're doing BUCS, you should be at Americamp next summer.
This is how legends are made.